For row 1, I'm going to add a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then I'm going to add a total of 11 single crochet along the chain using the top loop. I'm doing things a little bit different with this tutorial. So one is that I'm no longer speeding through what I like to call the boring bits because it's repetitive. I am keeping everything in real time, but I'm also going slower because the number one complaint on my videos that I get is that it's going too fast. So if this is too slow or just right or too fast still, you can let me know in the comments and I can try and adjust that better for the next tutorial. Now the other thing that I'm doing differently this time is I'm adding the written instructions, the written pattern on the video itself for this row. So that if you just want to look at that and then move on to the next one, it's right there. I'm also working on getting all of my patterns onto my website. So there you will find the written instructions, a photo tutorial, and then if you, we're at the end of the thing. So we're going to put 2 single crochet into the very last chain, and then we're going to work into the bottom loop. So we're going to go around the slip knot, and we're going to find the loop that's on the opposite side of the top loop, and we're going to add 2 single crochet into that loop, and that's going to help us make that curve around. And then we're going to from there add 1 single crochet again into each of the next 11 chains, but we're using the opposite loop. You could technically just work into the same stitch as the other single crochet instead of picking up just 1 loop. But it does make the gap in the middle a little bit bigger, but it's your project, so if you wanted to do that, there's no problem. The other thing I'm doing is I'm working the tail from the slip knot into my stitches by simply holding it over the stitch after I put my hook through. And that way I don't have to weave it in later and I can just cut it off. But as I was saying, I have the written instructions, a photo tutorial, and then the PDF version on my website. I also have an Amazon favorites shop thing, so it has everything in there that I use in my videos and then what I use to make my videos. So if you were wondering about where you can find certain things, I'm pretty much an open book. I try to make it accessible, but I realize that I never tell anyone that I did those things. So if you want to check them out, they're there. A huge goal of mine is to make crochet accessible to everybody. So the videos and content are always going to be available for free. There's not going to be a paywall that you have to go through, but I am going to start adding a option where you can pay for an upgraded experience. It's totally up to you. I'm not using some kind of a bait and switch tactic where I bait you in with free content and then make you pay to keep it up. But it is my dream to turn this into something that can help support our family. So if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But after the last single crochet, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch. And that's it for round 1. Be sure to like and follow, and part 2 or part 3 is going to be posted right away.